In this tutorial, we're going to cover the encyclopedia. The encyclopedia is, well, the encyclopedia of your world. If you're doing a lot of world building, this is where you're going to spend a lot of time. But even if you're writing a more traditional novel, this is still where you're going to define all of your characters. There's a lot of different ways to give your characters backstory or provide interviews to help you find their voice, and this is the place to do it. So the first thing you're going to do is go down here and click the Create button. You can see we have 5 different categories for entries in the encyclopedia. These are all mainly just rough categories. You can do whatever you want with them. But you can type out a name. Importantly, as within every other part of the app, you can give it tags. So this could be a main character, which you can see down here is a tag we already use. And so you can just click that. You can say and lastly, you can give him an image. So let's give him something fitting and hit create entry. As you can see, as soon as you create one, we start to populate a lot more information from it. Tags are important and they cut across all the different entity types, so you can really organize notes and timeline events and encyclopedia entries all with similar tags. But we do a lot more with encyclopedia entries versus those other entity types. The first thing we do is we find every instance of this entity, of this encyclopedia entry in a scene. And so you can see these are all the scenes that this character appears in. Now, some characters might have different names, like our Bob the Builder friend, if we come out here, might also go by Robert. This will help him show up when he's referred to it by his alias in a scene, then he will be found and linked to this encyclopedia entry. Let's go back to White Rabbit here. From any of these, you can click on them and go to the scene that he's referenced in. In that scene, if we go to the metadata panel, you'll see him down here. These are all the characters that show up in the scene. So this is pretty powerful. If you click on any of these, it'll take you right to the encyclopedia entry and so on. Lastly, you can filter when you're searching for something by type and by plain text search. So I can just start typing and we get everything. I can click on a tag here so I can filter by Wonderland. And if I clear this, I'm still filtering by my tag. One nuance I think is important if we go back to our White Rabbit scene that we were looking at is all of these references are discovered as you type them when you save. So if we want to add a new character, we would say and when we save, he pops up. Looks like I made Bob the Builder a location instead of a character on accident. Whoops. But imagine he's not in the scene, he's just being talked about. All right, so he's not in the scene. Alice is just talking about him here. And if I save, he still is there. So if I want this to be a true record of characters that were in the scene, not just mentioned in the scene, I can hit the X here and he becomes dismissed and he will just stay dismissed forever. So I can continue to mention him. And he stays dismissed. If I decide maybe he really is in the scene now, or I don't care if he really is in the scene, I just care if he's mentioned in the scene, then I can click this button and we've reset it. So next time we save, he'll come back up. So that's some pretty simple manual management. You can also add ones that aren't directly in the scene, like not mentioned in the scene. We can say the White Castle, and that just gets added even though it wasn't mentioned in the scene. So you can go through and decide how you want that all to work. So that's pretty much it. Um, if you build out your world here and it'll index all of the scenes that everything shows up in, it can help give you a better understanding of how your world links together, which characters and which locations are central, and it might be helpful. Thanks for watching.